My name is Shonda Gary. I am the Chief Excited Officer of Salt and Light Agency. I've done several hundreds, probably thousands of portfolio reviews. So I will be looking at your portfolio in the lens of a hiring manager for an internship, and I'll give you some pointers and tips on how to kind of restructure your portfolio so you can land that internship interview. First things first, one thing that I'm noticing about your portfolio is that we're going to want to get, I would say, an appropriate picture right here. And I say this appropriate picture, beautiful picture, but you're going to want to maybe just do a full-blown professional headshot. It's great that you already have your first and last name and who you are, like digital content creator. But when you are landing on the page, people need to see your work first. So I would highly recommend that you look at doing a gallery format with your best work. Maybe you can save some of these pictures for your about page. I do see it's common to include a picture of yourself as like kind of the hero image, but you don't want people to get lost and not look at your work. So if I'm landing on your home page, it should be like a gallery format of your best work with high resolution visuals, meaning they should be high, crisp, quality. And so right now it looks like you're in New York, looking like you are dressed for the night, but I would opt into doing a headshot maybe. And you have some fun things right here, but like just a little bit more professional. So I would look at putting your top 6 pieces. So if, as we're going through your portfolio, you are introducing yourself, this should be a separate page in itself. I love that you are including pictures of backgrounds and things. You can include those things in, but your about page is about us getting to know you. So it should reflect your aspirations, making it memorable. So right here, you are telling like, I am a digital creator. I love storytelling. I love all the ways. But what are your future goals too? So maybe pulling out that you love sports and entertainment and beauty, and really knowing about your future aspirations will be helpful. But again, I would take this, like get in touch and work, turn this into its own about page. And along with your education, you don't need this on the home page. What we really need to get to is the work. So with your pieces, you're going to want to have pieces that's going to have subpages, and also two pieces that's going to showcase the work. I think the biggest thing, as you're stating that you want to be a creative director, you want to do marketing, I think the biggest thing is you're going to want to show strategy. Like, so if your aspirations are to do creative campaigns, I need to know, okay, what role are you playing? What's the concept? What were some outcomes? So what's the story behind like these Adobe Photoshop? Because right now they have no story. So the thing is, you're grouping your work by like platform, but you need to group it by piece. So for example, if you want to do Sports Illustrated and you mock this up, is there a story behind it? Even if it's mock work, you're going to want a story or a concept and the role you play in outcomes with everything. Looking at case study styles, or like, so you're always solving a problem as a marketer, and you have to show your thought process behind being able to solve that problem. So one thing I would say is, okay, so you have projects here, which is great, your video with CapCut, but again, what is this? So Quest Airlines is great, but again, it could be its own like thing, and this can be the executional. So you may want to do like a brief, or maybe there's a story with your sport, like what was the process behind it? Like, did you film it? Did you edit it? So these are the different things. And stats, spill the tea, sacred. Okay, so you have Sacred Heart Cathedral Instagram page. Great. So you capture content. You have outcomes. You have things. This is great, but it needs to be featured as its own subpage, and it needs to tell its own story. So right now, when I'm looking at your portfolio, I'm just getting a little bit of snapshot of like, yes, you're a digital content creator, but what's the story behind it? What's the campaign? What's the thing? And also to like start to integrate more commercial work. it demonstrates versatility as you're looking at junior roles. But again, you want someone to land on your page and say, hey, Jerzee's interested in sports, she's interested in cosmetics or fashion. As a digital creator, like, she has these capabilities. She can do CapCut, she can concept, she can mood board. So you're gonna want, again, to have like your concept role and results of the project. So you have stats here, you have a good framing for everything, but I really want you to choose like 2 or 3 projects that you've done real world, but also to integrate some mock work. When I say mock work, it's spec work. So maybe you want to concept a mock campaign for Elf, like go on their website, study, like kind of do things, because mock work really also showcases your strategic background. So I think all in all, you're going to want to, one, really update your pictures, diversify your pages. Definitely get that about page with your personality, the things you're aspiring to. And also too, if there's any work that you've done, like, please include it in here. So you do social media management and digital presence. So you do, for the basketball team, more case studies around that. You've done a refresh for the website. You said you build campaigns, you help athletes. What athletes have you helped? What individuals have you helped? Can you tell a story? And content creation and visual storytelling, like, the thing is you're going to want to like show your process in the final product, especially as you're building campaigns as a marketer or creating digital content. So I think it's really, really important that you are mapping out projects versus like bunching it all together for platform, because you can easily say like you're good at CapCut and Adobe Photoshop, but the thing is, as a person that's bringing you on to internship, I'm going to learn. What is she going to learn? What is she going to contribute as well? So that's something to consider. But all in all, I do think that you have a good framing for your portfolio. I would definitely move your education. Maybe you can have your resume downloadable, have a complete about page dedicated to just you. And this is fine, but again, we need more pieces in here to understand what you're doing. But this is a beautiful layout. But I just need to see gallery style, more about the pieces, less about like, we want to learn more about you, but we want to learn more about like what's the work that Jerzee's capable of doing. And so that can aid in your future goal of wanting to be like a creative director down the line, focusing on creative campaigns, because a lot of people want to do creative campaigns, but you have to know how to strategically set things out and not just show execution, and that's it. So that is my biggest piece of advice. If you do manage other people's social media pages, maybe you can highlight a campaign or things that have worked. I love that you have your numbers here so you can see growth from month to month, and it's recent. So I do think that stats are good. And the thing is, I can feel kind of your vibe, like stats that spill the tea. Like you're very much so, it feels like an influencer if you're not an influencer, but you have a certain language about your portfolio. So don't lose that either. So next, let's go into your questions. So question number 1, is my portfolio pleasing to look at, or does it feel like too much? Your portfolio is your personal brand. You chose the colors because they reflect you and how you want to show up. So I think it's very important for you to put a focus on the work. And add more pieces. I know you said, what could I add more or less of? Less of you and pictures of you, but more of the work and more of your strategy behind the work. So you may want to take a piece of paper and write out like the top 4 or 5 projects you've done in university or recently that is social media focused, digital content creating focused, and create narratives around it. Again, when I'm talking about the subpage, it should be very concise. So you're talking about 2 to 3 sentences of the concept, the role, and the outcome with like your execution. Like, so screen grabs, make sure you have high resolution visuals as well. So I think that is really important. But all in all, I do think that your portfolio really showcases who you are. I feel like I have a like kind of a grasp of who you are, but I need to understand your thought process behind the work if you want to do campaign work in the future. And I think that's so important to show people your process. And so you're striking the balance between showing your process and your work.